Good afternoon, my beautiful people of Facebook. I'm sitting here in the office waiting on a family to come for Attitude Adjustment, the youth program. I have a jail tour this Friday. So I'm meeting with my families today and have to take a deep breath each time before it's time to meet them because I actually have to get into my mindset, certain role play that I have to have when I'm dealing with these young boys. And it's sad. It actually takes a lot out of me when I'm dealing with them because I have to intimidate them in such a way that they conform to what I need them to do. And half the time I just want to love on them, just want to give them a hug. I know they didn't come out right, but I just want to give them a hug because when I talk to the families, and that's one of the things that I ask, when is the last time you told them that you loved them? Or I asked the child, when's the last time you hugged and kissed your mom and told her that you love her? And that's a lot of what's going on. I'm not going to say that's the main problem, but you best believe that's part of it because a lot of these kids, they need to be loved on, and I had that growing up, so I can't imagine not having that. My children hug and kiss on me all the time, even when I don't want it. Get off me, leave me alone. They still want to hug and get their kisses off me, and that's because I showered them with that growing up as a child. And that's something that you just can't start today and it's gonna be all right, but it's definitely gonna help. And when I talk to these families without divulging any of their information, because confidentiality is one thing that I do practice, but it hurts me to hear a majority of these young men, their father is not in their life. So and it's sad because these women that come in here, these are strong women, these are good moms. These moms are going through hell dealing with these young men, and they research programs such as mine. So it's a lot of love there, and they're doing the best they can as a mom. But mothers, I'm sorry, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, and I've said this once before, but we cannot raise these men to be men. Now the best that we can do is illustrate or show them and tell them what we want to see or what we feel a man should be and how a man should act, and we try to push that upon them. But as far as raising them to be men, that's something that we cannot do. That's where father comes in at. And as women, we need to do better. It starts at home. Yes, it does. And I'm quick to tell my parents that don't feel bad because we're not our child's only influence, but majority of it does start at home. The morals and the values and the things that you teach them, to where when they do leave out your home, the influence that they get from other people, they can kind of decipher what's good and what's bad because of what they've been taught at home. But for the most part, we got to do better as women as far as choosing our mates, choosing our men, choosing our husbands that we choose to be with and have these kids by. Because I guarantee you, if we take a little time out to analyze and research and do all the shit that we do on Facebook with these men and figure out where they at, how they are with their own children, if they have children, how they are with their families, how are they with their moms. If we take a little time before we jump into bed and be so quick to want to conceive and get these dudes kids to call ourselves, want to keep them there or whatever the case may be, for your reasons for having these children, we got to do better with picking our men, because at the end of the day, these kids are the ones that's suffering. Every child I don't have this year, father is not, nope, let me take that back, because I did have two families that came and the dad was actually present. But for the most part, I'm going to say 90% of the children that I have dealt with just this year alone, the father is not instrumental in their lives. And it hurts me to the core that they're not, because these are good kids. Deep down, yeah, they here for a reason. The parents is bringing them here because they bad as hell and they disrespectful and they doing this and they doing that. But when I get to this office and when I have my one-on-one sessions with the family and when I'm talking to these kids, half the time the main thing that's missing is the love from their father. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to act. They don't know what they should be doing as young men because they don't have that image depicted in front of them, and it's sad and it hurts. So yes, I got on you women, and yeah, you got to do better as far as picking these men, but damn it, you men, y'all got to step up. Y'all know y'all got seeds out here in these streets. Y'all know y'all sleeping with these women unprotected. Y'all know when these babies come out and they looking just like you, they yours. But you not stepping up to the plate and taking care of them, I blame you as well as being part of this problem. I'm only a small piece of the solution. Yeah, I take them in. Yeah, I scare their ass and shake them up. Yeah, I take them to the jail tour. Yeah, I check back in. Some of them doing good, some of them not. Yeah, I give resources to try to help them along the way. But for the most part, it starts with you. It starts with being a father. It starts with being a part of their life. It starts with being instrumental. It starts with teaching, loving, showing how a man's supposed to be. Because once it get to this point where they sitting in my office and I'm kicking it with them and I'm taking them into a jail, baby, chances are half of them ain't gonna make it. Half of them gonna end up behind bars, or half of them the rest of them gonna end up dead. You know, I thank God for the ones that I am able to, when I call back and they tell me, oh, he's doing better now, he's doing fine. They almost cried yesterday on the phone talking to one of the parents, because one of the kids that came in May is doing so well right now. You know, he's gotten awards, his grades down came up, blah, blah, blah. He's in the sports. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I can't take full credit for it. No, I cannot. I do help. I can say my program does help. I can say that I am very, very involved when I get into this role play when these kids come to this office. But, you know, some of you going to listen to this video and shrug it off. Some of you might not even hear it all the way through, you know, and that's all good. But we got to do better as a family. We got to do better as a community. When I was growing up, we had everybody stepping in, you know. If I got in trouble down the street, you best believe the neighbor grabbed me by my collar and took me down the street, and then I got chastised again when I got to the crib. You know, nowadays, I know it's not like that. You know, a lot of people, don't touch my kid, don't do this and do that. You know, you can't put your hands, I discipline my kid, blah, blah, blah. But baby, if you ain't disciplining them at home, what the hell, you know, can you expect? How do you expect for them to act when they out in the street? You know, when I tell them when they come in here, these kids be fresh as hell, phones, iPhones, and how the hell is he walking around here with these jimmies on and this iPhone when you done gave me a list of about damn near 15 things that he's doing at home and at school that he should be walking around here butt naked with a towel on and just bearing to say bread and water, you know. And I'm being funny, but you get the picture, you know. How could you afford to buy this child? How can you as a parent? And when I sit down and think about it, you're trying to replace that with love in a lot of cases, you know. And it's not. It's not equivalent. It's not equal. Love has to be shown. And yeah, you can buy a couple gifts, couple pair of jimmies, blah, blah, blah. But baby, if you ain't telling these kids that you love them, if you're not hugging on them, if you're not showing them day by day how much you love these kids, pair of shoes ain't gonna make it happen. iPhone ain't gonna make it happen. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I know I said a lot of gibberish, and that's because I'm kind of trying to cut the time because they'll be here in a few minutes. But it's just, it hurts me every time I do this when I sit down with these families, because I already know chances are I'm going to hear the same story over and over again. And then before I do let you go, I am going to talk about the kids. You know, when I make them write down a list of things that bother them and things that's upsetting them, a lot of times, I hate to say it, moms, but you got to stop hollering at these little boys. Oh my God. Stop talking to them with no respect. That's all I can say. You know, you might think, well, they kids, they don't need it. Baby, these kids is little people. These are little people with feelings. These are little people that have their own mind. These are little people that's growing up to be big people. You know, and the damage that it causes when we have, I'm the same. When my boys was growing up, I had got to a point where I had to learn how to talk to them versus hollering at them at every little thing that they do, you know, demeaning them, you know, emasculating them. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm quite sure somebody gonna check me on it, but you know what I mean, as far as talking down on them and making them feel less than, you know, that don't work and it don't help. Kids are little people too. I know you've heard that saying, and they are. Things are different from when we was coming up. Kids should be seen and not heard. All that, it goes out the door. True enough, I don't feel like they should be involved in adult conversations. I don't. But there's a way to communicate with these kids, to put them in a mind frame to where they understand what you're talking about, what you're going through, and what you're trying to express to them. But it takes us as adults to take that time and take that deep breath to take the time to talk to these kids. You know, can't just let them find out everything on the internet. Now, you have to take the time out daily. I talk to my kids daily. Don't make me better than you. Don't make me a better parent than you. But I tell you this, me and my kids have an awesome communication to where they ain't going to be sitting up in no programs such as attitude adjustment. I guarantee you that. And that's only because I take the time out to explain to my kids and talk to them about certain things that I think they need to be aware of. All the way down if they ask me if they can have something. I can't afford to get it right now. I'm going to break down to them the reason why I can't afford to get it right now. I'm going to get them bills out. I'm going to put them bills on the table. I'm going to have them add them bills up. I'm going to get my bank account, my checking information. I'm going to put that on the table. And I'm going to let them see the figures and where that is and where that goes. And then we're going to sit down and then we're going to discuss why it is I say we can't do this right then and there. And then we're going to talk about options, things that they can do as far as maybe they should be able to old enough to get a job, or things to the point where they can do around the house to earn extra money. Something to the effect of they understand why. And that's one thing that I feel that's lacking when it comes to the communication between families. You know, people quick to say, well, I ain't trying to be their friend. Baby, you better hope if you can be their friend, because their friend is the one that they talking to all the time and they telling all their business to, and their friend is gonna be the first to know what's going on with them, whether it be sex, whether it be drugs. That friend, so you better be lucky if you get that close to be considered one of their friends. But baby, I ain't trying to say sit down with him and chill with him and go out and hanging out with him. No, what I'm saying is you need to establish a line of communication. Now, you want to sit up here and say that that's being a friend, call it what you want. I'm just letting you know we need to talk to these kids. We need to wrap our arms around these kids, and we need to love on these babies out here, because these young men need it. They need it. So I'm coming up off my soapbox. Next time you hear from me, I'm going to be going through some of the lists that I have of the children when they write down certain things, you know, that bother them. And then maybe I'm going to go live with it. That way, if you have something to add, you can. That way, you can feel free. Say what you feel. That way, I can tell you what I feel. And we can go from there. But for right now, I got to get ready for my family. This is Shakenya signing off from Attitude Adjustment.